The reason why I don't identify as foundational Black American or FBA, I identify as Black American, is because I don't want anybody lumping me in with these types of Black people.
Might have to drop a dime on this.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta stop it.
I don't like that shit.
For sure, bro.
I don't like that shit.
Alright, y'all, we back with another video, man. Y'all know how we do. Always pushing health, wealth, and to better understand the self. So check this out. In this video, we canceling Tabitha Speaks. Okay, y'all heard it in the front. She has been trying to discredit all of them. All of the Democrat shields have been trying to discredit Melrose Mike and Black Alpha Network for them voicing how we feel about the Democrats, the Congressional Black Caucus, anything that's associated with Black people. Okay, we trying to explain to people that they have been scamming and not doing anything for the people. It's kind of like they're controlled opposition. So when we see people on the internet talk down on, you know, our new generation and our new movement, we know that you're paid. It's no other reason. There's no reason for a Black person, right, to see another Black person, for you to go out and say, I don't want to associate myself with Black people like that, but you'll associate yourself with the Democrat Party, with Black people like that. With everything that we exposing on my channel, it's just very misleading, and we know that they're doing this because they're getting paid. Everybody who talks like this, they're a YouTuber that has a following. Okay, we got some little stragglers that talk bad about it, but generally it's the people that's talking about FBA it's people with big followings. And we know how APAC, you know, when they give out them $7,000 checks, you know, they giving it out to y'all who on that political side.
Now, Tabitha, why are you going in on the FBAs? Because they do stupid shit like this.
On behalf of foundational Black Americans, we demand cash payment reparations from our...
Am I a foundational Black American? Yes, I am. By definition, I am a foundational Black American. But do not associate me with these Negroes right here. That man went onto the internet, bought a ticket. The ticket prices average $400 a piece. Bought a ticket, drove down to whatever the venue was, paid for parking, just to sit in the audience to heckle Kamala Harris about reparations. Kamala Harris holds no legislative position. She's not a senator. She's not vice president anymore. She's not president. She's not a state legislative representative. She holds no political office at all. And this man paid on average $400 for the ticket to go sit in the audience to heckle Kamala Harris, and then wanted to be further disrespectful and mispronounce her name.
All right, so y'all hear her say it. You mispronounce her name, and Tabitha is locked in on he spent $400. She don't know what he spent. How do you know what he spent on a plane ticket? Okay, he could have drove there. It could have been in his same hometown, but neither here nor there. She's more concerned about that he didn't say her name right. And if you check out the reaction to everybody in the audience, it were Kamala fans. So it's either two things. Either she's APAC or she could be just a delusional Kamala fan. I'm sure they're out there. just delusional. They're just fans of, you know, it's a woman up there. She ain't even black. She's Indian, okay? And that's been proven. You gonna take the side of an Indian, and this is what AIPAC gets people to do, no matter what culture you in. It's to go against your own people. Now, we're calling people out like the Black Caucus, the Democrat Party. Y'all supposed to be for the people. Now, I'm gonna let her speak. She gonna talk about how, like, we don't know about politics. Check this out.
I follow a lot of Black men that identify as foundational Black Americans that are clear that they are a part of the FBA. But you know what they don't do? They don't do stupid shit like this. Yeah. Furthermore, it is disturbing to know that there are Black men out there screaming at Kamala Harris about reparations when they clearly don't know that she has come out in support of reparations.
The reality also is this: any policy that will benefit Black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people.
So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit Black people. So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit Black people.
Where do you stand on some form of reparations for Black people?
Well, look, I think that we have got to address that. Again, it's back to the inequities. America has a history of 200 years of slavery. Mm-hmm. We had Jim Crow. We had legal segregation in America. The Voting Rights Act was only strong for 50 years, and then they wiped it out with this United States Supreme Court in the Shelby decision, to the point that 22 states immediately thereafter put in place laws that one court found were crafted with surgical precision to have Black people not be able to vote. So we've got to recognize, back to that earlier point, people aren't starting out on the same base in terms of their ability to succeed. And so we have got to recognize that and give people a lift up. And there are a number of ways to do it. Part of my initiative, again, around the LIFT Act is that same point. Lifting people up who are making less than $100,000 a year. What I want to do about rent is the same thing. What we need to do around education and understanding disparities, what we need to do around HBCUs. But we have a history of racism in America.
So you are for some type of...
Yes, I am.
Reparation. Okay.
Yes, I am.
Did you hear what Leonard said? Leonard said, so you are for some type of reparations. And without hesitation.
Tabitha think we just slow. So you can tell that AIPAC kind of probably put this together for her, gave her the points, what she wanted to say. She's actually going to sit here and say that Kamala, right, supported reparations. So when she was vice president, I guess because Biden's white, right? That's why he ain't go for the reparations. Or any white Democratic president who say, like, what, if you don't vote for Democrats, you're not Black. So Tabitha trying to keep us on this plantation. You know, they paying her well. They paying her well. Just to jump out there like this. But I will say this. She should have talked about what she said about not doing things specifically for Black people. That's how you could tell she's being disingenuous. But check this out.
You have some Black men, like that Black man in that video, and some Black women who don't understand how government works. They'll take the time, energy, and money to purchase a ticket, to go down to an event, to yell at the former vice president of the United States their demands. But they won't take the time to go down to the voting booth to vote in the candidates who will get them to their wants, and desires.
Yeah, we got to cancel Tabitha. Tabitha is now trying to mislead the people by saying that the Democratic Party, if we vote for them, they're going to lead us to our desires, which is the biggest cap right now I've ever seen. They should have been. This ain't the first time we bringing up reparations. We've been talking about this since 40 Acres and a Mule. At this point, if you representing black people and you are so delusional that you don't even know this is what black people want, you need to be kicked out of office, because you're not tapped in with the culture and the community. If you're not just pushing forward and doing it and we are following your lead, you don't need to be running for office. We really, as FBA, we want to get rid of all of you boule, all of your politicians, your Democrats, all of y'all. We feel like you got a tie to white supremacy with the Greeks, and we feel like with the politicians, y'all got ties to the slave masters. And this is why nothing is getting done.
You see, you can't get to the finish line without stopping at mile marker 20 or 25. There are steps to this thing.
So she's trying to explain us and let us know that it's a process. And that's how we got to this point. It's a process. Okay, we didn't just wake up one day and say, hey, you know what? We're going after the Democrats because they're not pushing for reparations. Check out this video and I'm gonna explain how long we have been pushing for this and we've just been getting ignored.
Illegal immigrants displaced black workers in areas that had traditionally been populated by black workers. And the reason for that is because what you find is black workers, particularly black males, are disproportionately concentrated in the low-wage labor market. And they compete with one another in areas such as construction, hospitality, service, and agriculture. This was not a small displacement either. The decline in labor participation rates among black workers over 3 decades was attributable to competition from illegal immigration. And we see this kind of phenomenon displayed in the black community. Not all black communities, but enough of them to present a concern. This type of adverse impact was something that concerned us enough, at least concerned me enough, that we, on a number of occasions, reached out to political leadership, specifically the Congressional Black Caucus, because, they call themselves the Congressional Black Caucus. I didn't call them that. And I thought that they would be particularly concerned about this particular issue because the adverse impact is egregious. So I can tell you that we made a number of attempts to highlight this issue to the Congressional Black Caucus. We sent several letters to the then head of the Congressional Black Caucus. All we heard were crickets. So there is, my concern is that on a political level, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of energy behind this particular issue and trying to address the impact of this particular issue. I think that's an abomination, and I'll leave it at that.
If Kamala Harris were president and she is without hesitation for reparations, then you need to vote in the people in the House of Representatives who will bring forth legislation for reparations. Then you need to vote in the people in the Senate who are for reparations. That way, your candidate who's for reparations will bring forth legislation.
Okay, Tabitha don't understand. Everybody is against us. Nobody is for our reparations, especially all of these immigrants that they bringing over here and all of these immigrants that they have in our politics. So if we don't clear house, we can be pushing and voting for people that's going to backdoor us and not push reparations. So she ain't smart. She's not smart enough to understand what we're going through and really be able to break it down. She just sounds like one of these shills. But check this out.
And then you need to have enough people in the House of Representatives who are for reparations to back up that bill and vote for that bill. And then when it gets passed on to the Senate, you have enough people in the Senate that support reparations that will vote for that bill so that it passes the House and the Senate to get to Madam Vice President, or in this scenario, President of the United States, Kamala Harris, who will then sign it into law. But no, these black people would rather pay $400 for a ticket to yell their demands, but won't go down to the voting booth to vote in the people who will bring forth the legislation and vote for the bill.
All right, so I hope y'all see how important it is for us to do these videos about these people. She's going on a rant saying that we won't support Kamala Harris and Democrats just for having the bill. We don't want reparations. We just doing this. This is why we got to get rid of the CBC, the NAACP, the Democrat Party. Any black person taking money for AIPAC, because they all sound like this. Amazing Lucas. But you know what? We canceling y'all this year. We letting everybody know you speaking on a political white supremacy side. I say white, liberal, or what. It don't matter. We don't care what side of politics you on. If you're not pushing our liberation, you cancel. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. Do you feel that she's saying the same talking points as Roland Martin and unamazing Lucas? Let me know in the comment section, man. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace and love.
A community must have three things to have a community in it. You must have a wholly independent economic structure that can provide goods, service, products, and things for your own people, and jobs and tax spaces for your own people. You should at least control 4 basic things. You should be trying to control water, food, medicine, and energy to be able to survive and compete.
Here we got Mr. Pollock. He had a cornfield. He took advantage of a free water test from us, and this is what we found in this water. We found sulfur, we found hardness, and we solved these problems with an easy fix of 2 tanks. So get your free water test today. Stay blessed. Click the link below.